We're live.
Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a good holiday season and that we're all ready to attack 2026 with our implementation of the development of the St. Rose campus. I'm glad you're all here. I'm going to call to order the meeting and start with a roll call. I am here. Mr. Nigro has been excused. Ms. Walsh?
Present.
Mr. Adrianelli?
Here.
Ms. Polino?
She's on the call.
She's on the phone. Oh, Saunders here. She is here. And Jasmine Higgins?
Here.
Danielle Melendez is also excused today. The next order of business is the meeting minute review of the December 11th meeting. I would start with a resolution to introduce the minutes for acceptance. Ms. Walsh? Jasmine? Any discussion, corrections, additions, deletions from the minutes? Hearing none, I will close the discussion. Since I was not in attendance, I didn't want to abstain from the vote because I wasn't here. But at this point, all those in favor of approving the minutes as written, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any noes? Hearing none, passed 4-0-1. The next section of the meeting is the public comment section. We sort of rearranged the room a little bit. I think to accommodate that, we have now a podium for public comments. We'd ask anybody who wants to make public comments to come up, introduce yourself, and hopefully keep your comments to about 3 to 5 minutes.
Good morning and thank you very much. My name is Carolyn Keefe. I'm a neighbor to the campus. And I would like to start by thanking the authority in the county for keeping the sidewalks around the campus so clear, making getting around so much easier this time of year. I would like to welcome Henry Johnson Charter School to Pine Hills. Our neighborhood loves children in schools, and we have 4 schools in Pine Hills already. LaSalle School for Boys, Albany High School, St. Catherine Center for Children, and Pine Hills Elementary School, and we are glad to see more join. I look forward to seeing children back on the St. Rose campus with all their joyful energy and vibrancy. I, like other neighbors, appreciate the county and the authority working to bring Henry Johnson Charter School to Alberta's Hall and Science buildings. We want all children to succeed, and we know that their schools must succeed as well. In that spirit, neighbors want to know that there is a plan for the school's success here, especially regarding the children's security, adapting the buildings to meet the needs of smaller children, and ensuring the school's long-term financial stability. Since so little has been shared with the public about the school's plans, I have a few brief observations. News reports indicate that one plan is to have the children use the Albany County's newest community center for recess for a cafeteria. This community center is also home to several county offices, and as well as facilities that are meant to be open and accessible to the public. I am absolutely certain that all of us in this room, everyone involved with the school, and everyone involved with the county takes these children's security seriously. I have no question about that. But how do we see keeping the children safe while they are traversing the facilities that are in the very public community center? Also, I had the privilege of being PTA president at School 16, Pine Hills Elementary, when it was in swing space over at former Albany High School, now New Albany's new School of Engineering on North Lake Avenue between Western and Washington. I saw the struggles that very young children had navigating a building that was not designed for their needs, getting to bathrooms, climbing high staircases, and traversing from one end of the building to the other to access services was often a struggle for the smallest children. Like that building, the Alberta's highest buildings are nearly a block long with high ceilings, and I urge all involved with this project to ensure that these buildings work for all of the children within its walls. And I understand we're very early in this process, so it's a good time to maybe point that out. Finally, very little has been shared about how much renovations will cost, and I understand that the school is developing a plan and is early. But I also believe that neighbors will be reassured when we can see the plan showing how the school's move and expansion will be successful for the long run, avoiding potential future disruption for students and their families. I know that you, like all of us, want the Henry Johnson Charter School to thrive here on the St. Rose campus and to give these children a safe, enriching education here for many years to come. I look forward to watching them all grow up learning in our neighborhood. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll certainly take those remarks into consideration as things get developed.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Oh, you go first, go ahead.
Wow, a podium. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm John Wallner. Most of you know me, Pine Hills resident and advocate for the good work, that you're doing, on the authority. It was nice to have time to pause and not worry about things over the holiday. And as I reflected, I'm amazed at what the county have been able to do this year. You've been able to borrow money, control this property, and put it on a path where it's pretty clear now that we're going to recover at least the money that was borrowed to build this project. I am so pleased and so grateful to each and every one of you, the board, the staff, the county, the consultants, the neighbors, everyone who's worked so hard to bring this to where it is today. Now we have a new year, and I hear it in your voice, Chairman Mazza, that you're ready to get on to the next round of things. It's so exciting to think about. Before we do that, I just want to tell you a couple of little wins that I've seen here in the last few months, in the last week. Just Tuesday, a very, very small thing, but we now have a Buddhist meeting in the old chapel on the campus. It's an example of the soul of St. Rose returning. I just can't tell you how happy I am that you've managed to preserve that linkage and that you're bringing back the people from the community and letting them feel like it still is their home. That's absolutely critical. And it's a small thing, but it's a big thing. And the other thing is just the energy that the county has put into the event center, bringing back. I went to yoga yesterday there at an odd time, but still, it was still a good thing. When I first found out about yoga, I was at this meeting, 6 or 8 months ago, and I've attended religiously since then. And I always stop in the event center and talk to the staff about how things are going. And I can tell you, there's an energy there, there's a growth there, there's talk in the neighborhood now about the good things that are happening there. And one little metric, classes, the first session I was in averaged about 6 people. Last night, 22 people. And a Pilates class after was larger than that. They were streaming in as we were streaming out. So to the county, you're doing a great job, and I appreciate it. The only charge and challenge I have for you all now is, now that we see how we're going to pay back a lot of these things, we have some of these other buildings that, like the chapel, can do good things. My main intent here is to make sure we reuse the Mastery Center well, fill the Hearst Center with life, use the studios and all that. As we pay down the debt, we're going to be able to do some good things. There are a lot of people, waiting in the wings to help do that. I'm talking with the county about it. I'm happy to talk with you. We'll likely engage with most of you over the course of this year to make that happen. Looking forward to working with you. Thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you, John. Anyone else?
Good morning. My name is Virginia Hammer. I'm a resident of Pine Hills, and obviously interested in what's going on here. The consultant's report included, I believe, 5 different plans. All of them identified selective removal of the Lima dorm to make room for apartments. My questions are, 1, is this authority going to move forward with demolition? 2, if so, when and will you pay for it? 3, will the authority solicit reputable developers or wait until an offer comes in? We would also like to see, a timeline for moving forward with a plan for the apartments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Yes.
Hello, I'm Therese Joyce. I'm a Albany resident.
Sorry, can you speak
No,
up?
I'm not prepared to speak, so I apologize. I'm here by.
I'm sorry, could you
We
please
didn't
get your
Oh,
name?
I'm sorry, Therese Joyce. I'm an Albany resident.
Please, Joyce. Thank you.
And I just wanted to speak because I'm a graduate of St. Rose, and I'm not a charter school person. I believe in the public schools, and I think the last thing we need as a taxpayer is to have an increase in a charter school, especially on a busy main road with school buses. I used to live across from the school, and twice a day, the traffic was just backed up, and we already have enough issues with the speed humps, and so I'm concerned about the Henry Johnson School increasing and moving in this location. So, and then the additional concerns, as we mentioned too, with safety, with getting to their recreation area and their cafeteria. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other member of the public who wants to speak? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll close that part of the meeting. Thank you, all of you, for your comments. We will be taking them under consideration as we move forward with a whole lot of things in 2026. Thank you. The next issue are, this is our annual meeting. And being that it's an annual meeting, there are a number of housekeeping items that we need to address.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Owens, our attorney, is here. The first resolution, there is a blank on in your packet, speaking to the board members, which is the appointment of our officers. I would recommend, in case anybody wants to step in, and I will accept the nomination. I'm recommending myself for the chairmanship for another year. However, I do feel this is an opportunity to rotate people through the system, to recognize the fact that we're going to be around for a while. And I'm recommending Ms. Walsh for the vice chairmanship, chairpersonship, sorry, Secretary Jasmine Higgins, and Treasurer Sarah Reginald. We do have in our charter an assistant secretary and assistant treasurer. In the past, we have not filled those positions, generally due to our size and efficiency. So I would open that for discussion. My recommendations are, as I presented. I have discussed this privately with most people. Any discussion? Mr. Owens.
So, thanks, Chair. So our bylaws, as he said, provide that at each annual meeting, we will do an election of the officers and appointment. So the way we would procedurally do this resolution recognizes the results of the elections. So we would go one by one. We would have a first and a second for the chairperson. We would do a vote. That person who's nominated, if there's only one, would abstain from that vote, and we would continue on down the list.
Okay.
So if we could get a first and a second for the chairperson, that would be great. And that would be for Mr. Mazza. Is that fair? Yep, okay, great. All those in favor? Mr. Mazza abstaining. And then. You're abstaining. Any opposed? No? Great. All right, and for vice chairperson, if we could get a nomination from Ms. Walsh. First, second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. And then for secretary, if we could get a first and a second, please.
I would move, Ms. Higgins.
Okay, Ms. Higgins, and the second was,
Walsh.
okay, Ms. Walsh. All in favor?
Aye.
And any opposed? Great. And then for treasurer, please, first and second? Second, and this is for, is it Mr.
Ms.
Reginelli?
Reginelli.
Yep.
For treasurer.
So can I, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, so the elections now, the 4 elections have been completed, and the resolution simply will be recorded to record the results of the election and positions that each respective officer is occupying now. And this will continue through the rest of this year.
Do we need to vote on full resolution?
You can do that if you'd like. The resolution,
You don't think
elections
we-
have come.
I
I'm
don't
going to
wanna-
have the secretary sign it. It's really just recording the
Okay.
results of each
All right,
election.
that's nice. I just wanted to make sure we didn't leave something undone.
Great.
Thank you. All right, thank you, everyone, and I look forward to working with all of you as we successfully work together last year. The next, Tom, why don't you?
Yes, sir. So the next resolution, number 2, it's on page 5 of the resolution. The governance committee had seen this last month, but this is the report that's provided to the Authority Budget Office. It's also posted on our website. We have last year's report currently posted. This provides a summary of our mission statement, performance goals for the upcoming year. It has some, what I would consider sort of checklist of questions as to whether board members have attended training and have acknowledged their fiduciary duty, things like this. That's on page 7 of your package. And then finally, a list of results for the previous year. This is, again, once approved, will be posted on our website, and ultimately by the end of March, will be submitted to the Authority Budget Office. So, subject to any discussion or questions, I would accept a motion and a second to move this forward.
I'll make a motion.
Okay?
I would second it.
Second?
Can I? Second?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, second.
Any discussions? All right, and this can be dynamic, right? So if you see things that need to be changed or anything like that, we can certainly come back, revisit, and get it printed in there. So if we could get a vote on that, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, so that passes. And then finally, we have on our annual compliance schedule, there are certain policies that come up for an annual review. And Sarah is passing those out now. There's no changes to these. There's 4 that are reviewed each year and approved. That's required by statute. You have your procurement policy, the real property acquisition and disposition policies, and then our investment policy. And just basically, the procurement policy lays out how to procure services and goods, how to compete. At certain dollar levels, you either need verbal quotes or formal written quotes, and whether the CEO can approve the procurement or whether the board does. Anything 50,000 and above is the level at which we establish board approval. So that's the basics of the procurement policy. The acquisition disposition policy basically provides before you do either thing, you get it appraised. And we've seen that in practice through this year. We've had a number of appraisals done prior to considering any property transaction. And then finally, the deposit and investment of funds policy. As a public authority, it's a very conservative policy. Basically, it allows us to provide or to put our money in bank accounts or in treasuries or in securities that are backed by either the United States government or the New York State government. And that's the extent of it. This is not a hedge fund or a stock purchasing type of entity. So that's those are the 4 policies that are before the board today. Again, no changes. There haven't been any statutory changes that would require anything. Subject to any discussion, we would be looking for a first and a second to move that forward. Ms. Marino, thank you. All right, second, and then all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thanks, Chair. Back to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Tom. The next item is the CFO report. Amy Thompson?
Good morning, everyone. You turn to page 16 of the board packet. I'll go over the profit and loss for year-to-date November. In November, the county has reimbursed us roughly $3.3 million for expenses and operating costs for the campus. Total payroll was roughly $500,000. Professional services, $571,000. These include audit, HR services, planning and security. And last line item of note is total utilities for the year were $638,000. A couple of items to note: we did pay down the bond for the sale on the 5 buildings to the county this week. Once I receive the new amortization schedule from M&T Bank, I will then submit my claim form to the county for the first interest-only payment, which is due in the middle of February.
So just as a way to hold us for a moment here, so the amount of money that you were all on the hook for has just been reduced by close to $6 million, so the outstanding debt is now somewhere around 35, give or take. This is really, a great cooperation between the county and the authority. The county executive really kind of, stepped up and, made some significant things happen on this campus and had the money behind it to see it through too.
And the only other item to note is that the 2025 audit will begin next week with Bonadeo, and that will be ready for presentation in March so that we can get the reporting into Paris. That's due by March 31st.
Any questions for Amy? Great job. Thank you.
Well, I have a question.
Oh, okay.
So in addition
Sure.
to the 6 million, I know has that gone through already?
Yeah.
To
That's
take
closed.
over the operating costs that they wanted to take over.
Oh, the county taking over the operating costs?
Not yet. Okay, but that's coming.
Under discussion
Okay.
right now, yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Let's move on to Mr. O'Connor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year to emphasize our chairman's remarks. A lot going on the redevelopment side. I apologize to those in the public that are here. There are some discussions that I'm going to reserve for executive session that talk about specific parties and dollar amounts. The public disclosure of which could affect the outcome of the deal. But again, strong level of interest. We've got Dustin Mitchell with us here today from the Henry Johnson Charter School. We'll be talking about this a little bit later in the meeting. But what I would like to do at this point is turn it over to our consultant, Zach Connolly, who you all know, who assisted us on the redevelopment plan along with CPL. And Zach would like to do a short presentation about possible next steps. This is something that you're all going to have to kind of think through about how we want to proceed. I know it seems like the plan was this Herculean effort to get done, but this is really where the rubber hits the road now on how we develop the rest of this campus, the processes that we set up to do so, and any guardrails and parameters that you want to see put in place to govern this process as we move forward. But again, we'll have some more specific details in executive session, but I would like Zach to kind of just walk us through, some things for you to start thinking about and, give staff some direction on how you'd like to see this happen. Technical difficulties here. So while Zach and Sarah are getting that together, maybe what I'll do is I'll ask representative from the Henry Johnson Charter School, Mr. Dustin Mitchell, to come up and make a few remarks about what the Henry Johnson Charter School in fact is and what their plans are going forward. So if somebody could turn the lights back on just while Mr. Mitchell's making his presentation. And then Zach will call you back up. Sure.
Thank you for having me. Good morning and Happy New Year. Henry Johnson Charter School was chartered in 2005 and opened in 2007. The mission of Henry Johnson Charter School is to ensure that all scholars reach the highest levels of scholastic achievement in an environment that instills character, virtue, and habits of mind that ensure success within and outside of the classroom. Diligence, courage, respect, self-reliance, duty, and responsibility. As reported by the State University of New York's Charter Schools Institute, Henry Johnson's approach to character development complements the school's robust assessment, curriculum, and instructional leadership practices, creating a holistic learning environment for students. Teachers support scholars in mastering skills required to thrive. Currently, we serve over 300 scholars in grades K through 4. Thanks to our consistent academic success, the strength of our school community for almost 2 decades, Henry Johnson Charter School was approved for another 5-year charter last year. This means that we can continue character development for years to come. Henry Johnson Charter School is actively seeking to identify a facility that can support its SUNY Charter Schools Institute approved expansion of its market-leading and successful K-4 academic program into a K-8 middle school. We want to be a partner. The authority's vision for the St. Rose campus aligns with our mission. Henry Johnson Charter School is participating in the process as outlined by the authority and is interested in exploring this opportunity to be a part of the solution to keep the St. Rose campus a vibrant part of the community.
Thank you, Dustin. Any questions?
Are there any board members who would like to address at this point in time? We look forward to continuing with your proposal and hopefully be successful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so again, back to Zach, what we're asking, what I'm looking for is approval to enter into a professional services agreement with Cresta Realty to assist us on the development phase of the project here, and Zach is going to kind of walk us through some initial thoughts on how that might work.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Thanks for the introduction. It's great to see everyone here today. As Kevin mentioned, I've been working on this project as a contractor with CPL Engineering since the very beginning of the consulting period, and I'm starting to. If I get another speeding ticket in the 20-mile-per-hour zone on my way here, it's official that you'll have to move forward with my professional services agreement in order to afford all the tickets I have. So, all kidding aside, thanks for inviting me here. This is a very short. I won't bore you with a long presentation here. Very short presentation. I use the term reimagination implementation. Not just from a branding perspective, but the redevelopment of this site is going to take quite some time, right? And there's still some rehabilitation left before there's any shovels in the ground anywhere or any major redevelopment. So what we'll talk about, I'll first talk quick about what we had as a result. The final report was a playbook. For what to do moving forward. And we'll talk about playbook real quickly. And then I'll give an update of where we are today, some of which you already know, some of which may be new news, and just a little bit about how we can help and how we've been helping and hope to continue to help. The playbook recap. I think what's most important here outside of the identified uses are the action steps. And was it Virginia? Was that Virginia? So Virginia asked a series of really great questions about what are the timeline for the redevelopment? She'd like to see one. Where are we getting professional developers involved? How is this getting paid for? And those are really important things. Those are part of the next steps, part of this implementation plan. Where we left it at the end of the playbook was we need to continue a targeted outreach to developers and occupiers. We need to issue RFPs or RFQs, RFIs for specific parcels or buildings so that we have multiple bids, multiple proposals for different parcels. We need to negotiate development and purchase ground lease agreements. The county, the Alliance is working on a board of managers agreement to manage the common areas, parking that will be shared amongst multiple building owners once there are multiple building owners. And we need to identify economic incentive and funding programs for these projects, which is a critical step as well. So, where are we today? Most of you know, or at least have read about the properties that the Albany County has closed on very recently. There's the Events and Athletics Center. That's those properties are identified kind of in the darker green color here. Number 27, the Events and Athletics Center, the Neil Hellman Library, the Huther Business School property, and as well as where now the county executive is at 66 there. These properties have all been closed, and as just mentioned, debt has been paid down, or bonds have been paid down there. The next phase, right, part of where we are today, the ongoing piece. Dustin, thank you for coming up and talking about the Henry Johnson Charter School. There, we're in a 90-day period for property 28 and 61. That's Albertus Hall and the Science Center that are connected properties. And two other properties that we have not taken any action on. We're not under a 90-day period, but there is significant interest from both properties, from two different buyers, occupiers, and developers. Is St. Joseph's Hall here, number 60. If you can see the screen there, and the Lally building where we're all sitting today. We're in discussions about what the next steps will be in order to potentially dispose of those properties. Both these occupiers and developers fit the scheme. What they want to do with these properties fits the scheme of what we have put forward in the initial report. So, how can we help? Kevin's team is wonderful. The county has been wonderful to work with. We would like to be an extension arm of your organization to continue helping you by representing you selling these properties. Those are brokerage services to broker these transactions. There's, even in the early stages, there's a lot of communication back and forth. There's a lot of tours of properties. There's a lot of estimating construction costs. There's understanding timelines of different projects. There's understanding the true market nature of these transactions, what properties are worth and what people are willing to buy them for and what they'll do with them. We need to work with you, or would like to work with you through an RFP process to both create the RFPs, to create marketing materials as part of the RFP so that we can paint the picture for these developers that might come in and construct multifamily. That's part of the scope we're proposing. And in order to do that, we need to understand what it looks like from our side of the table, the county, the alliance, the neighborhood association. We also need to understand what it looks like from a developer standpoint so that we know when we're getting good market-driven offers that are best for the community, are best for paying down the debt and bring in these types of users and occupiers that we want here. We need to identify economic incentives. There are projects here that may not require economic incentives. There are projects here that may require significant economic incentives in order to attract developers here. And we need to identify and paint that picture really well so that we make it easy for people to come and be interested in wanting to be here, wanting to develop parcels, and wanting to live and work on campus here. That's all I have for today, but I think that gives you a good sense as to what we're talking about at a very high level, and how we'd like to continue to be an extension arm for the Alliance and the Pine Hills Authority.
Great, thank you, Zach.
Yeah.
Again, there's a lot of work to do. I know, just having spoke to some of you, our chairman in particular, there are some areas of emphasis that I know you'd all like to focus on. And we can talk a little bit more about that in executive session. But, I think I have a great degree of confidence in the ability of Cressa to help us in this next phase of development. As many of you know, this is really what the Alliance does for a living. We are in the economic development business, and we, are pretty good at providing incentives and structuring deals to make things happen. So this is what we'll do, but we are going to need some assistance, and I'm very confident that the work with Cressa, the work that Cressa can do for us would be additive to the process here.
I would echo those remarks. I think we had a very good planning process, very in-depth, and a very crammed in schedule. And I certainly would look forward to working with you. And certainly from the standpoint of what you bring to the table, and you also understand the Albany market, what we have here and what we don't have here. And we have to be realistic. And the fact that you worked with CPL and others, that you don't have to relearn where we are. You hit the ground running. And I look forward to your efforts. Thank you.
I know more about the campus now than I ever thought I would, frankly. So I've been in all the
We've
next.
got a dormitory room for you.
I've been in all the janitors' closets.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you, Zach.
So, Mr. Chairman, what I would like to propose is the resolution in your package, which is item number 6B, page 18 of your package. Tom, would you like to kind of just give a little overview about what the resolution does?
This is characterized as professional services under our procurement policy. It's real estate consulting. The resolution lays out the authority that we have both by law and within our policy to retain the services. This would be a time and service type of engagement, so it's an hourly rate, which is terminable at will by the authority if it would choose to do so. So there's no real dollar number on this. It will go month to month, so to speak, as time and service is spent on it. So this is something the CEO probably could do without the board authority, but it was important for both the chair's perspective and the CEO's perspective to bring this to the board. It's a big part of our mission. It is our mission moving forward, and so therefore this resolution is before the board to be considered. So, subject to any questions for Kevin and the chair, they would be looking for a first and a second on the motion.
I will move the motion. Wait for a second. Say all right. Thank you.
All those in favor?
We need discussion.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Any discussion, questions, concerns? Moving forward?
I think I'd just add to both of your remarks that I've worked with Zach for a long time, and he's incredibly professional, incredibly knowledgeable, and well respected in the community. I did have somebody ask me coming to this meeting, like, you guys are still meeting? Didn't you celebrate the fact that he's already We have 70 properties, we've got 5 of them out of the way now, it's gonna get harder from here, and so having additional professional expertise working with us to get that done efficiently, I think is a really great idea.
I think we can organize that, in a way, tackle each area and make some decisions to move forward. We're not gonna do it all at once, that's for sure. Thank you, sir. Anybody else? We have a first and a second.
Yes, sir.
Hearing no further discussion or questions, all those in favor of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Any no? Yes, thank you.
That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Under other business, I really have nothing other than, I want to thank everybody for all the effort. And I'm talking about the board, the community, members of the neighborhood and so on, for all the effort that was put in. I think we're in a good place right now to move forward. We have a huge agenda, but we can move quickly, but deliberately, with a lot of thought as we attack 2026 and the challenges that we face. Other than that, we'll move it to executive session, if you would, Mr. Chair. I would move into executive session, Mr. Mullins.
Yes, sir. The reason would be to discuss the potential sale or disposition of real property, the publicity of which would substantially affect the value thereof.
I move that. I have a second. Ms. Walsh. All those in favor of moving into executive session, say aye. Any negative? No. The board will remain Mr. O'Connor and our attorney. I don't have anybody else.
Mr. Conley.
Mr. Conley, yes.